never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no...
That was brilliant.
But it was the David Gonzalez move, really, wasn't it, on the brakes? But yeah, anyway, he's chasing Uriarte. He's ahead of Gonzalez and Pratama.
He had his first junior GP, clips the back wheel of Veda Pratama. You don't want to be doing that, Marco, as he slots into fourth.
Yes, he replayed that superbly. So now Zenmitane is at the back of that group. He came into the weekend carrying
podium just a couple of weeks ago in Aragon. He had a wild card replacement ride in the Moto3 World Championship.
Yeah, so any idea that Brian Uriarte was going to get to the front and run away with it, that disappeared very quickly, didn't it? A wrenched shoulder, and said that in the first race he just hung in the group, you know.
As Veda goes bumper cars with Gonzalez.
Yeah, he could see Brian because Gonzalez, Pratama, oh, they're well off in the blue stuff there. That's okay because he wanted to save the shoulder as much as possible. Then over the last couple of laps, he said, and them getting away at the front, and he doesn't want to let that happen. That was pretty hairy stuff, but they don't get penalised for going off on the blue stuff. Only if they touch the green have they got to be careful. Just closed my mind to the pain, closed my mind, looked ahead and went for it. And he said, I'm going to do it. Both got away from it, or away with it, but it's given an advantage to Uriarte and Morelli in front.
Morelli really trying to make his way through on Veda Pratama. He just tried to outbrake him.
Do the same thing in race 2. So that is why, as much as anything, Zen is sitting.
Veda, though, as he's got Daniel for company, looking up the inside right behind him. Christian really wants to chair, but Pratama cut his nose off to make sure he couldn't get through. Brian's back in the lead, though. Where's Dinesh? Just
there in 5th place, rather than battling hammer and tongs at every corner with the guys ahead of him.
Trying to find a way to make a move at turn 8, but I just don't think it's particularly possible with that on the back of this group. He's behind the number 32 of Ramadeepa, the Indonesian rider who's been on go. Smart lad. As we look back down the order, then it's Karpushin and Benyat Fernandez, Ramadeepa. As Brian moves all the way over to the inside of the track, and him and Morelli going some great form lately as well. He's trying to go on the inside.
Oh, did he touch it? Almost.
Pugliese's fallen off the leading group. Oh, Morelli.
We almost lost Morelli.
Toe to toe, Morelli keeps the lead. Daniel up to 3rd. Pratama maintains 4th position. It's
they touched rear wheel there, didn't it?
I think he left a couple of tire marks on Ramadeepa's leathers there. It's a big moment, wasn't it? And he's still keeping it pinned. Uriarte, though, responding. They're getting faster and faster. All on, Peter. Penultimate lap time coming up. Gonzalez pushes Veda wide again. But Dinesh, after an initial sluggish start, he's in the groove again. 8th position. Tries a lap by lap 144.9 this time around. Well, this race is absolutely on, isn't it, Morelli? Let's see. Here we go then. 2 laps left of this absolute thriller. Trying to make his way up to 7th. Gonzalez trying to make a move on Brian Uriarte into 1st again, but not decisively. I think, is he doing that because maybe a wet patch caught him out and he wants somebody else to take charge of in Spielberg?
Now, Brian said after the race yesterday that he knew he had something. Yeah, superb, nice line from Brian Uriarte there, hanging on to the advantage.
Morelli's made his way up. I don't know, or is he just a bit spooked and needs to gather himself again?
Well, yeah, he knows there's a few laps to go. And over Veda Pratama, he said, I can't tell you what it is, but I know something that he doesn't about.
Into 3rd as well, ahead of Pratama, so this would be the case where Uriarte does take the champion.
He can afford just to follow Brian for a corner or two, because he's not going to get away from them, is this track. Well, this is the time to show what he can do, because he's with Veda Pratama back in 4th
today.
Yeah, indeed. And of course Veda knows that, so he's going to be 3 abreast behind Brian Uriarte, but Marco Morelli holds on to 2nd place. In fact, 5th or 6th place at the moment. It's Marco Morelli who has the advantage. Christian Jack he must be worried about the 2 Spaniards getting ahead now. They could make a break on Morelli of Veda Pratama.
That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Daniel Jr. up into 3rd place behind Brian Uriarte, and Veda Pratama back in 4th place under great heat, and make it very difficult for them. We'll see what happens.
Through Kerfone, here we go, on board with the Indonesian. Not well then. Leo Ramersdorfer into 9th place as well as we look back down the order. Lennox Famara as well, the Swiss riders.
Pressure from Benyat Fernandez and Gonzalez and Karpushin.
It's all very well having the upper hand and no White as he tries to make a move through Morelli there. That is one of the bravest places to do it. On the cats we've seen from him, Really, really good stuff. Congratulations to him for that ride, however he finished. Something about this track that Veda doesn't, but Brian, Veda behind you. What have you got on Marco Morelli out front? Look at that! Oh, wow, but it's such a pleasure to watch. This is really good. As we see, Dinesh has gone down again, Peter, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
That'll be no plan B. 95, looking for a ride in the World Championship next year. It's his final see him down and out of the race. And that's your lot from Hakim. Ega Pratama rider, Morelli fights straight back at him. Tries to stand him up in the middle of the corner as well. He's in Rookie's Cup. Will he sign off with another win before potentially heading to the world stage?
But anyway, let's hope, let's trust that he's absolutely okay.
There he is. Absolutely brilliant.
Rubbing paint off each other, and yet they're not slowed down at all, are they? Because they didn't lose ground. As I say, he qualified on the front row in third place on the spare bike, so he's obviously got
trudging away.
And of course, the Alpine Stars Tech Air suit has gone off there and blown up onto Uriarte and in that battle.
Well, then just behind them, you've got
this sorted out now. It's working really well for him, and he's making full use of it.
Christian Daniel
and saved him from injury. And the Alpine Stars
Pugliese, Zenmitani, who started from fourth on the grid. He's in sixth, just ahead of Danish now. Junior in third position as a track limits warning. One more time on the green, and he too will have a long lap.
Tech Air suits have 2 canisters, so even after his first fall, he can get up. The thing will self.
Seventh, who's dispatched Ramadeepa. We see fastest laps of the race, the fastest rider on the team. He cannot afford to make that mistake again. The number 70 going for second, up on the inside of
deflate, ride again, and it will go off a second time if he falls off again.
Track off the race so far, Hakim Danish.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. He knows what he's got to do.
Uriarte, he finally makes a move at turn 7. Absolutely brilliant from the American.
Of course, he's just done. He won't re-inflate the third time. Anyway, right, 5 laps to go. It's pro. Even Danish, he went into the race, as I said, saying that the bike was only 80% sorted. He's
Rickard up in the second spot. This is absolutely sensational.
And it's going to be about Uriarte. And not quickest laps from those guys this time around. Marco riding around any kind of problems that he's got at the moment. Fastest man on track.
The other 20% has got to come from
5 abreast on the brakes here. It's Marco Morelli with the advantage.
Veda on the inside. Brian
Morelli, David Gonzalez, Mitani has passed Pratama.
Ramersdorfer and him, and that other 20% came from Marco Morelli there as he pushes Pratama out wide as they flit back to 5th, Peter.
Yeah, and are they going to keep off the green as they go on to the last lap through this?
Agostinelli and Singapore all gone down. Think must have been at the same corner.